coming. I do think that code enforcement is very important, and I do think that that is what keeps a city maintaining a high standard. I do know that there are vocal people in this community that are arguing the exact opposite of what you're arguing. They want kind of a free-for-all. They're calling it property rights. They're saying that, you know, people could have all different kinds of uses, and people should be able to park all different kinds of vehicles, and people can have all different kinds of whatever, you know, amenities at their home. And, you know, code enforcement is the balancing act. So that group is loud, and it sounds like what you're saying makes a lot of sense. I agree with what you're saying. I agree that we do need good code enforcement. I push back on those people who don't want some regulations, because like you said, you know, you're just trying to be good neighbors. You're just trying to coexist. You're just trying to be on the same street, and you want things safe. You want things to look good. You want us to have a good community. So I agree with you, and I think we can look at, you know, just be clear. There are voices in this community who are advocating for us to loosen our codes, and so. You know, that's something that council needs to decide. I don't get to vote on that, but I agree with Lana Kay in this issue. We want to maintain the integrity of our neighborhoods. And I think anyone in the audience desire to comment?
Sorry, Angie, 22 Ridgeview. I actually am very grateful that you have that process where you offer that courtesy notice, and we do all of that. I think that code enforcement is very important. I think that we need to, though, weigh code enforcement with safety and rights being infringed on homeowners. And I want to say that I haven't been here for a couple weeks, unfortunately, because I've been at a job with, you know, doing training. But I was able to watch the last business meeting, I think it was. And I believe what was referred to by the mayor, vocal people in the community that consider property rights to be a free-for-all. And I just want to elaborate that that is not what the vocal people of Florence consider to be property rights. I have a long thing that I have typed out. I'm not going to go into it. I think that ultimately the ordinances that we establish as a city, safety should always come first. I've never said anything different. I think that when it infringes on our rights as homeowners, that's where the issue lies. And when we have 5 out of the 6 people on council and our mayor as a Republican who continue to allow ordinances to be passed that infringes on homeowner rights, it's concerning, and it goes against the Republican values. And just, again, I applaud the process that we have courtesy notices, that we have those things, that we do go out for the safety. But I think ordinances should be viewed and see how those apply. When I moved to Florence 10 years ago, I moved to Florence with the idea of this is how I'm gonna raise my family. In 10 years, so much has changed. I cannot do almost half of the things that I've already started on my property because we continue to pass ordinances that are stripping our rights away. And I'm talking about things such as trailers and things like that. I know that it doesn't fit into an HOA, you know, standard, but Florence isn't an HOA. You move to an HOA for those amendments. If you don't want to live in an HOA, I don't believe that some of those things should be afforded. And then some of the things that are said just gets contradicted because we say that we can't have amenities such as trailers and trucks on our roads because it's damaging our roads, yet we just put in this apartment complex not even thinking about the infrastructure that is associated with it and all of this traffic that comes with it. So we can allow all of that, but God forbid a working class family have a trailer on their property, you know, that goes against, you know, what you consider property rights. So, I mean, I guess I'm just confused as to words that are said and the way that you said them during the last business meeting and who you referred them to. And I know that I'm one of those vocal people in the community that you were referring to. I just think that a lot of what was said is said with a misunderstanding and misrepresentation of the vocal people in this community and what we're seeking, and the rights that we're seeking, and the rights that I feel like are being infringed on. So I'll continue to voice my opinion. I'll continue to be vocal about it. I appreciate everybody on council. I appreciate the steps that we take for code enforcement. Never once said I didn't want code enforcement. I think it's great. I don't want like Miss K, that whole situation. I'm glad that it worked out the way that it did. Those bushes needed to be removed. It was a safety concern, 100%. Agree with that. But then when you start doing other things that take away our rights just because it doesn't fit within your HOA, that is what bothers me. That is where I feel like our ordinances are pushing the bounds and infringing on the rights of homeowners. So, again, that's my take on that, and I apologize. I've been here a few weeks. I've been in training, and I'll be in training the next few weeks for my job. But I would just close in saying that with the majority of council and the mayor being registered Republicans, and I know this is a nonpartisan council, I understand that, but it just boggles my mind on some of the things that get voted on that do not align with the Republican Party. And I'll leave it at that. You guys have a good night.